The country recorded yet another homicide. A petition was launched to oust Long Island MP Loretta Butler Turner, and the details of payout for Bahamar's creditors were revealed. We've got those stories and others. I'm your host, Krishna Virgil, and this is the Tribune's Top 5. Proposed changes to the country's Employment Act has the Democratic National Alliance up in arms.
The government's proposed changes to the Employment Act are nothing more than an attempt to appease the country's laborers because of its dishonesty in handling the shock mass redundancy action by Sandals Royal Bahamian Resort, DNA leader Bramwell McCartney said to the Tribune. Mr. McCartney said the Christie administration's proposal to criminalize mass redundancy without government consultation could negatively affect the business community and ward off potential foreign investors. He said a balance needs to be struck in implementing fair labor laws and creating an environment that is very conducive to conducting business in the country. Last week, the Tribune obtained a document written by the Department of Labor outlining how the government wants to bring emergency legislation to Parliament that would make it a criminal offense for employers to fail to consult or notify the relevant minister or bargaining agent about their intention to make 10 or more workers redundant. The government has also recommended that employers consult the minister and bargaining agent at least 60 days prior to redundancy exercises whenever an employer is proposing to make 10 or more employees redundant. Police are investigating the death of a Charles W. Saunders schoolteacher who was found dead in her home off Soldier Road Friday morning. Assistant Commissioner of Police Stephen Dean said the woman was found shortly after 8 a.m. by residents of an apartment complex on Red Sea Road off Sumner Street. In a press statement issued by the Ministry of Education, parents were asked to immediately collect students due to the untimely death of a teacher. While police did not officially release her identity, the Tribune understands she is Marisha Bowen of Guyana.
Despite the Free National Movement's public support of Long Island MP Loretta Butler Turner for the Long Island constituency, attempts remain underway to have the MP ousted.
Former Cabinet Minister Tennyson Wells confirmed to the Tribune on Tuesday that he instructed a group of supporters to draft a petition for Mrs. Butler Turner's removal. According to Mr. Wells, this group approached him for counsel during the most recent Long Island regatta, where he advised them that the most effective way to get the party's attention was to gather as many signatures as possible to prove that she is no longer supported. The petition, obtained by the Tribune, lambasted Mrs. Butler Turner for humiliating F&M leader Dr. Britt Minnis and warned that should the F&M dismiss the demands for a new candidate, its supporters were fully prepared to nominate and elect a worthy independent. However, in an interview with the Tribune, F&M Chairman Sidney Cawley not only sought to distance the party from the matter, but said it would not support the petition in any way. He said the party did not receive any petition regarding the Long Island candidacy to date. He said, quote, "The petition going around Long Island is not by the F&M. It's not instructed to be done by the F&M and does not have the support of the F&M. The first time I heard about it was Monday morning when someone called me and told me Tennyson Wells or persons associated with him are circulating a petition. I haven't seen it, and that is the first time I am hearing of it." But Mr. Wells insisted that there was an overwhelming number of people on the island who were not satisfied with the former F&M deputy's representation and predicted that hundreds would support calls for her removal. Tall Pines MP Leslie Miller on Thursday blamed the government for the failures at Bahamas Power and Light and questioned why management at the corporation have not offered a solution to the public for the frequent power outages. In an interview with the Tribune, Mr. Miller said it is obvious that the government does not believe in Bahamians because if the Christie administration did, Power Secure would never have gotten the approval to manage the former Bahamas Electricity Corporation. Mr. Miller said, with all due respect, he believes Power Secure was chosen over Bahamians because the investors are white and foreign. The Progressive Liberal Party MP said Power Secure does not care about Bahamian people and are only concerned with collecting money and turning people off. Mr. Miller, BEC's former executive chairman, said, quote, "We, the former BEC board, presented our plan to the government, and our plan meant that by June 2016, we would have new engines and would have brought the cost of energy down for all consumers, regardless of the price of oil. They say they believe in Bahamians. Are you serious? They think God only puts brains in the heads of foreigners. They don't believe in Bahamians. We had a plan, a solid plan. I resent this. This is a slap in the face, and there is nothing we can do but bear with it and sweat. They are good at nothing but getting people to pay. It is amazing that nothing has happened since they took over. We did not need foreigners. We have done this ourselves. Every day is a blackout." End quote. Mr. Miller also questioned why Bahamas Electrical Workers Union President Paul Maynard has been speaking on behalf of BPL and why the management has been so quiet.
Details surrounding how Bahamar creditors were to be reimbursed were revealed this week. However, this raised more questions than answers.
James Smith, former state minister for finance and head of the committee overseeing Bahamar's payout, said on Tuesday that creditors owed up to $500,000 are likely to be fully paid what they are owed. How much money those owed more than $500,000 receive, however, will depend on how many eligible creditors come forward with claims, he said. He told the Tribune, quote, "Some people might decide to stay out and pursue other means of getting the money. Also, some creditors might have gone out of business or left the island. So we have to see what response we get to the notice before seeing how much money those owed more than $500,000 are likely to receive." Mr. Smith's comments came the same day the Claims Committee published a notice in newspapers requesting that unsecured creditors of Bahamar companies submit their claims by completing a form. That form was posted on a website established by the committee, which requested that creditors identify the total amount of their claims as of October 31st, 2015, and offer particulars of their claims and securities they hold. Nonetheless, Mr. Smith emphasized that payouts to former employees of Bahamar will be prioritized over payouts of all others. Meanwhile, Free National Movement leader Dr. Hubert Minnis accused the government of misleading the public to have Bahamians believe that all contractors who worked on Bahamar would receive some, if not all, of the money owed to them.
Want to get in on the discussion? Well, here's how you can. Just log on to our website at www.tribune242.com. Like us on Facebook, the Tribune News Network. Send us a tweet at Tribune242 or subscribe to our YouTube page, Tribune242.